Okay, today we are solving two-step equations. So my question is, what is the goal? What am I trying to do? Okay, I'm in math class. We're talking about two-step equations. What is my goal? My goal is to get the variable, or that letter, alone on one side of my equal sign. If I look at my example, it says 3x plus 7 equals 8. I'm going to draw a big old line going through my equal sign. So I'm trying to get this x alone on the left side of that big blue line. So how can I use what we've learned before to solve for my variable? Well, we've talked about inverse operations, and we said the opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of multiplication is division, and vice versa. So if I'm trying to get that x alone, the first thing I want to do is move over this 7. Well, I have a positive 7, or plus 7, attached to my 3x. If I subtract 7 from both sides of my equal sign, that plus 7 and minus 7 cancel. So now I have 3x equals 1. So my x is almost alone, but I still have another step. Before, I did one step and I was done. Well, I'm not done. That 3 is still attached to my x. How can I undo the multiplication of 3 times x? How do I undo multiplication? Think about it. Write what you think you should do. How many of you guys divided by 3 on both sides? Hopefully, we said the opposite of multiplication is division. So if I divide both sides by 3, x is all alone and it equals 1 over 3. Now we could change that to a decimal, 0.333, or I could just leave it as a fraction, 1 over 3. That is my final answer. So let's take a look at these. I have some more examples. It says 7x minus 4 equals negative 11. Well, if I draw my line going through my problem, going through the equal sign, I'm trying to get this x alone on the left side of my line. Well, I have this minus 4. If I add 4 to both sides, the negative 4 plus 4 cancels. I bring down my 7x equals negative 7. Well, x is almost alone. I have one more step. I need to divide by 7 on both sides. Well, 7 divided by 7 cancels out. I'm left with that x all alone up top. What's negative 7 divided by 7? Negative 1. So x equals negative 1. I can check this if I want to. I can know that I got this problem right. If I check it over here, 7 times x, well, x is negative 1, so I put that in parentheses. Minus 4 equals negative 11. 7 times negative 1 gives me negative 7. Well, negative 7 minus 4, negative 11 equals negative 11, and it works. So this is my final answer. I know I got 100 on that problem. Well, this one looks a little different. It says 15 minus x equals 23. So I'm trying to get this x alone on the left side of my big red line. Well, I have just 15. If I just have 15, we assume that's positive, so I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. Those 15s cancel, and I'm left with minus x equals 8. Well, my question is, if I am left with negative x on one side of the equal sign, am I done? Is x all by itself? No, it's not. Negative x means it's really negative 1 times x. So if I'm multiplying by negative 1, how can I move that over? Ooh, I can divide by negative 1 on both sides. All that's doing is getting rid of that negative sign. So I'm left with just x, and x equals negative 8. And that's my final answer. Be careful. In this step, x was not alone yet. I had to divide by negative 1 to get x alone. Here we go. I have 8n minus 4 minus 3n equals 21. Whoa, this one's big. If I draw my line going through my equal sign, do I have any like terms on the left side of my equal sign? Do I have any like terms in those pieces? Yeah, I have 8n minus 3n. If I have 8n and I take away 3n, I'm left with 5n. Well, there's nothing to combine that plus or that minus 4 with, so I just do 5n minus 4 equals 21. Does this look like something we just did? Yeah, all I did was added an extra step at the beginning where I had to combine my like terms. So now I want to add 4 to both sides. I get 5n equals 25. Divide both sides by 5, and n equals 5. And this is my final answer. N equals 5. I had to combine like terms before I did anything else. Well, now this one, I have some parentheses. I'm going to distribute this negative 2 to everything inside your parentheses. It goes to everything. It goes to the plus x and the plus 7. So I get 8x negative 2 times x gives me minus 2x. Negative 2 times positive 7 gives me minus 14. And that equals 16. There's my line going through my equal sign. Do I have any terms I can combine on this side of my equal sign? On the left side? Yeah. 8x take away 2x gives me 6x. Bring down your minus 14 equals 16. What do I do next? Add 14 to both sides. 6x equals 30. Divide by 6. X equals 5. Be careful. Look at how I'm writing out every step. I'm showing all my steps. I'm showing every step. I'm showing where I added 14. I'm showing where I divided by 6. Be careful. Show everything. Okay, last one. 2/3 times x plus 5 equals negative 3. So I'm trying to get this x alone on this side of my equal sign. I want to subtract 5 first. So I get 2/3 x equals minus 8. My question is, what is the reciprocal again? Well, the reciprocal of 1 over 4 is 4 over 1. The reciprocal of 2 over 3 is 3 over 2. The reciprocal of 2 over 5 is 5 over 2. So my problem, I have 2 over 3 times x equals negative 8. What's the reciprocal of 2 over 3? 3 over 2. So I want to multiply both sides by 3 over 2 so my fractions go away. Look at how wonderful that is. Those fractions cancel out and x is all alone, and that's what we wanted. That helps me accomplish my goal. So I get x equals, well, 8 times 3, or negative 8 times 3 is negative 24, divided by 2. What's negative 24 divided by 2? Negative 12. So x equals negative 12. That is your final answer. Well, here's one more reciprocal one. This one's a little funky too. This time my reciprocal's on the outside of parentheses. I got these big old parentheses. I do not want to distribute that 4 over 5. That's going to be messy, and that's not what I want to do. So what I want to do is multiply by my reciprocal first. Yep, you're like, Miss Laura, can I do that? Yes, you can do that. Multiply by your reciprocal first, that fraction cancels out. You get x minus 2. Well, 5 times 8 is 40. So I get 40 divided by 4. Well, what's 40 divided by 4? 10. So x minus 2 equals 10. Well, if I add 2 to both sides, I get x equals 12. Is x all alone? Yep, this is my final answer. Now we're going to come around and make sure you guys understand this, but these are the types of problems we're going to be working with now. They're getting a little bit harder. They're not one step anymore, they're two step. So flip your paper over and get started on the next problem set.